lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like I finally got my mic working. We are ready to go racing here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Oh, I didn't even put that correctly up here on the board. I just put Las Vegas Speedway. I knew something was wrong there. Welcome, everybody. My name is Angel Santiago. We are live here with the Sim Racing Media Network, broadcasting the Roughneck Racing Series as they take on what is probably one of the best car and track combinations on the entire subscription of iRacing, our NASCAR trucks at Las Vegas. These drivers are going to be full throttle currently for their qualifying laps. Right now we're seeing some blazing fast times right now with Matt Worrell currently on the top of the board. But while we let the rest of these drivers make their qualifying laps, we'll go over our race info for tonight. We are going to be doing 100 laps around this mile-and-a-half, essentially going to be like a super speedway tonight, at least for the first couple of laps. The ambient air temp, 65 degrees, 14% humidity. That means we have a nice cold track, which, well, that just means nothing but grip, and why these drivers are going to be able to go full throttle for at least a little while. However, really only going to be possible at the start of the race, and if you're running up front. If you're not up front, you're going to have to also know you can't be full throttle. Too many trucks around you. Everybody's going to be slipping and sliding. Cold tires are still an issue, especially on a very cold racetrack. While there's grip, that first couple of laps, 2 or 3 laps, can get very, very loose on you to start the race. Right now, we're going to go over, we have 100 laps as mentioned. There is only 4 sets of tires for this race. And I say that, and that includes the set that you start on, because that means that's an average of 25 laps a set, which maybe doesn't sound like quite a bit. However, these drivers had a practice session before the official session opened up. I jumped in for just a few laps, and after 3, even on your 4th lap, you are already seeing tire fall off. So you can only imagine these drivers are going to be slipping and sliding everywhere as they try to make on this race. It's going to be very exciting to see what these drivers can do here at Las Vegas, as we are completing, or almost done with our qualifying. We have just about 1 minute left in this qualifying session. We'll go ahead and go over briefly our current points outlook. With Christopher Barker currently the top of the board right now, having won last week of your races so far. Chris Barker, Ryan Gomez, and Dalton Steele, of course, your winners. We've been on 3 entirely different tracks. This now makes a 4th entirely different track. Starting off the season at Talladega, we then we then went to the Glen, so we went from a super speedway to the very first road course ever for this league here in their 2nd season, and then followed that their first ever dirt race, which both were big successes in my opinion, especially I believe for those watching, was very entertaining for us. And then we come here now to the high bank of, which is a pretty high bank of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Qualifying is all complete. We're going to go ahead and go over your starting grid for tonight. Matthew Ace is going to be on pole with a blazing 30.640. Only 7 1,000ths of a second behind is Matt Worrell in that number 79. Row 2 belongs to Steven Shue and Jimmy Rowdy. James Wagner and Larry Fairman on row 3. Row 4 to Daniel Love and Jeffrey Ledford. Chris Ramsey and Jeff Scott round out row number 5. Row 6 belongs to your point leader, Christopher Barker and Matt Benke. Matthew Gall, Greg Jolly going to make up row 7. Row 8 belongs to Chad Hawkins and Brianna Laurent. And then Tim Richardson going to round out the field here at the in the 17th position. Drivers are getting ready to go green flag racing here. We're going to go ahead and see if we can go ahead. There we go. Get lined up with them. See if we can very briefly get our pole sitter in. Let's see. Matt, this is Angel here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got us?
I do.
I know we're about to go green flag racing. Congrats on the pole, Matt. What you got to do here to go ahead and finish in the same position?
I believe this is going to come down to pit strategy. So we got a fast truck tonight. This James Wagner's Welding Ford F-150. It was a rocket ship during qualifying. So just the right pit strategy, I think, is what it's going to take.
I love it. Can't wait to see it. Good luck tonight. Have fun. We'll get another interview with you later on.
Hey, thank you.
These drivers do only get 1 lap here to go green, which the drivers prefer, because when you sit there for 2 laps just trying to go around, they seem like they take forever. You just want to get green flag racing. Barney the Flagman, he's got the green flag up in the air. Matthew Ace, he's going to get up to the gears. Green flag racing for the James Wagner's Welding 150 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Drivers going to go side by side deep here into turn number 1. You see them start to fan out as they go through 1 and 2. Coming off of 2, they're still side by side for almost the entire field, but the front 2, here they are. Some drivers trying to separate, but the main goal is going to be stay right up on that outside of those drivers under. Yo, you got multiple trucks sideways, and we got our first caution of the evening. This is exactly what I was talking about, really, to start. How you're gonna have it's almost a false sense of safety that you have with these trucks when it's nice and cold. You can go full throttle into the turns. The problem is when it's this cold and your cold tires is that it will not. The trucks do not always like the hard turn, and turns 3 and 4, while you didn't see it as much in 1 and 2. For one, they weren't up to speed, but in 3 and 4, you had to yank the wheel a little bit harder. 1 and 2 feels like it's stretched out a little bit more, and 3 and 4 almost feels a little tighter. I know it seems like, oh no, it's the same thing side by side. No two turns are ever the same. In Las Vegas, you really do feel that in 3 and 4. I'm going to stop talking for just a moment and blabbering on about my favorite track. We're going to go over and see exactly what happened. If I'm not mistaken, I thought we saw it was Larry Fairman sideways in this number 99 truck. You see him come down, get some side draft on that number 6 of Brianna Laurent. And it'll be a lot of these drivers on the outside as you have to yank that wheel a little bit harder. You see him get loose. You see multiple others get behind him. The 35 got loose in front of the 46. Oh, the 3 took a heavy hit there as well, Greg Jolly. So, unfortunate for some of those drivers, as you saw immediately what happened to them. These drivers are now, looks like a little bit more calm down. Let's see if we'll go ahead and we will properly bring in our pole sitter here tonight. Matt, we got some time to interview this time.
Yeah.
So, start here, and I had mentioned it before, and I wanted to be able to ask you, but of course we had to get started. Cold tires on a very cold track. Now, everybody loves the cold track for the grip, especially at night, but just those first 2 to 3 laps, cold tires on these trucks are not your friend. How bad did you feel that there in 3 and 4?
I think it was a chain reaction. I got loose there, and I think the next 4 or 5 cars behind me got loose.
Yeah,
we definitely going to have to get heat in these tires first before we really go to racing.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. It looked like almost in tandem, quite a few drivers through the field. And it looked like, especially as you're trying to yank it hard into 3 and 4. Now, it really only takes a couple of laps. At that point, Matt, you being the front runner here, your goal, of course, wanting to stay up front, keep that fresh air. How do you plan to keep those drivers behind you? And what do you think is, aside from that, you talked about pit strategy, how are you going to be able to save tires here when everybody's going so quick?
That's just it. Saving tires is going to be a big key. So if I'm going to try to lead a lap here, which I've already got my lap led. So if these guys are faster, I may just let them go and then just wait for the right moment and let my tires come in.
Hey, there is a perfect time and place to get up there through the front. We'll let you back again. Focus on your restart. Good luck here.
Hey, thank you.
All right, we got to get a proper interview with our pole sitter there, Matthew Barker, ace in that number 96. As he said, James Wagner's Welding Ford F-150. You see the Iracing.com pace truck ready to come down pit lane. We'll jump back up here with Barney the flagman. And once again, those of you joining us in our YouTube chat, thank you so very much. We'd love to have you. As these drivers get ready to go through the Geico restart zone, they're up to the gears. Green flag racing once again as we complete lap 4 onto lap 5. And with 3 faster pairs, you will see everybody still here part of the field just about as they go through turns 1 and 2. Coming off turn 2, here comes Steven Shue. He's got a big run to the outside of Matthew Ace as they go down the backstretch. What can he do as they go into turn 3? And can he make sure he doesn't accidentally? We'll have to see how some of these drivers get through 3 and 4. Can they hold on to it? They build just enough heat in the tires. It looks like they do. Coming off turn 4. Oh, we got a couple drivers in the wall. Can they keep it together, though? No, caution's going to be out from that one. Another one of those things here, you know, just because it's full throttle does not mean, and again, occasionally does not mean it's just a simple going around. You know, you got to be able to time the way, time your turns correctly. You got to know how hard you're turning in. Sometimes you simply have to let off the throttle. The problem with here at Las Vegas, coming off of turn 4, that wall will, and a lot of tracks, that wall will just come out and grab you. And you've really got to be prepared for that. So we're going to go ahead and see exactly what happened. Hold on just a moment. Let's see if it's the 6 here, Brianna Lauren. Oh, you see the 14, the 84 get loose in front of her. Oh, yeah, she just hits the wall, comes down, and collects the 01 truck. Oh, there's nowhere to go. Tim Richardson, oh, he talked about he just never cannot get any luck going whatsoever. Steven Shu now at the top of the board. We've seen how these restarts are in the front of the field. Let's see if we can find Daniel Love. He would be actually no, way for a newcomer for a little bit later on. We'll jump to see if we have Chris Ramsey in chat. See if we can't get a brief chat with Chris. No, I don't see Chris. Then let's go to... Matt, this is Angel here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got me, buddy?
I copy you, sir. How are you?
We're doing pretty good right now. That number 79 Chevy Chevy Silverado. Just talking about the F-150 Chevy Silverado, looking clean there tonight. I'm gonna ask first to make sure I haven't been butchering your name all night. How you pronounce your last name?
It's pronounced as Worrell.
Worrell. Okay.
Worrell.
Worrell. Okay, you know, I was somewhat close. I might have butchered it a few times. But nonetheless, Matt, talk to us how you're doing in tonight's race. Clean looking truck. We've seen how the drivers have been doing up front. You're running up front now. How have the restarts been, at least these last two?
You know, the restarts for me have been pretty smooth. It seems like I'm being probably a little bit more generous on it. I'm trying to let everybody fall in. I mean, we got 100 laps here, so I'm just trying to be patient. And let the race progress and try to keep it clean up front here. It'd be nice if we could get a little bit of a run in here, but I'm sure that things will follow in and we'll get going that way.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, this isn't your first race here? You've been at least
Yeah.
once or twice, right?
This is my first race in with you guys. Yes.
Okay.
A couple of sessions with you guys, so I know some of the names. I'm getting familiar with the guys and familiar with how some of them drive, and it's been a real pleasure being in here, being able to race with these guys.
Yeah, it is a blast when you do get used to driving around the same drivers, really learn their driving styles, what you can do and what you can't do. So it does make it a ton of fun here. We're going to let you go in just a moment. What's the plan here really for the I know you said take it calm, but over the next 90 laps, so how can you save your tire enough to make it to the end?
Well, you know, as long as we can keep it in the draft, you know, our fuel ought to save a little bit, and we're really not using much of our truck up as the guy up in the front of us. So if we can just kind of piggyback back here in the back for a little while, I think we'll be all right. Of course, as the race progresses, I think the higher line's gonna come in, and that's where everybody's gonna want to be to keep the blistering off the right rear. So
there you go. Well spoken, Matt. Wish you luck here. Good luck, and hopefully we're talking to you at the end of this one.
Hey, thank you, sir. Much talking to you.
That's a very, very good insight there, talking to us about how that tire is going to be and where the line may or may not move. We'll see if that's the case. As Steven Shu, he's going to get up through the gears. We're Green Flag Racing here, completing lap 9 on lap 10. 10% of the way to the race just about. Every lap, 1%. 1% as these drivers make it through turn 1. You see them fan out here. Love these paint schemes as you see. Oh, Shu going to stay to the bottom there. Looks like he actually doesn't want to offer any drafting help as they're fanning it out here going into 1. Or sorry, into 3. Since everybody keeps it off the walk here, maybe a little bit more ginger as they realize that there's only so much you can do through the first couple of laps. We know we're going to have a little bit. Now, this is going to be beneficial with some of these, caution laps that we've had, because what it allows is for you to not use up as much tire and extend the life of this first set. You see the 96 of Matthew acing out to the outside of the 00. Now, what I've always done is here at Las Vegas is you can kind of see that strip around the turns where it is just a little bit darker. You see where the rubber's been laid in. If you can keep your truck there, it tends to help save tire quite a bit. Now, it can be difficult with what we've been doing here with this type of racing that we're just loving right now. As you see these guys still fanning out 3 wide. As now here comes Jimmy Rowdy. He was peeking to the outside of the 00 there, looking to make it. He did make it for the pass for second on your pole sitter, as your pole sitter is now currently under attack from James Wagner, son of our sponsor tonight for James Wagner's Welding 150. Again, big shout out to James Wagner's Welding for jumping on board for the season here for the Roughneck Racing Series. They jumped on again for a couple races last year. Enjoyed it, seemed to want to come on for the last of it, and they've stuck on for this entire season. They are, of course, a family-owned and operated business specializing in custom-built truck beds and offering framework of all types, located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. I hope you guys are watching tonight over from North Wilkesboro, because all the way here on the West Coast, almost here in gambling city of Las Vegas, these drivers are gambling it away, I'd say right now. Look at the type of racing we are enjoying right now, as they are on top of each other from first all the way to 16th. It is within 2 seconds. You can about throw a blanket over these top 5 drivers, man. You can just keep watching this. I don't have to say nothing to see how great this is right now. This is a ton of fun to watch. Christopher Barker, we talked about earlier, being your current points leader. He just put down the fastest lap of the day back there in the 13th position, a 30.51, which is half a second quicker than your leader. Again, very much depends. You see all these drivers, top, bottom, wherever they can go. That's the beauty here of Las Vegas. You can go right up against the wall, all the way down to the bottom, and there is places to race. Allows you to really try something different if you can't get around some of these drivers around you. Man, look at how much fun these drivers are having. Las Vegas, there's so much speed to this track, but it's also so technical. You really got to hit your marks right, which is why it truly is one of my favorites in the way it races. You see these drivers just sending it off here into turn 1. Man, I'm just getting just enamored right now watching this racing that's happening. It is a blast from up here. We'll jump on board here with Matthew Gall in that number 78 here, as we are now about here now, of course, lap 18, about 8 laps into this run. Let's listen to these tires. I apologize, everybody. My field of view has changed quite a bit with a new rig setup, so I'll have to get that adjusted here for the next race so you can still see how the wheel is working. Listen to that throttle though. Love listening to these drivers just throttle it through there, trying their best to keep it off of each other, off the wall, as these guys up front just keep on battling for first, as now put James Wagner's name in the bucket for the top drivers. He's now moved to second. It seems like a lot of these drivers can make it to second, but they can't quite make the pass on Steven Shu. He has got it figured out to keep the lead. Here comes James Wagner, though, on the outside. He's got a pretty good run here, but it looks like the 00 should be clear of him off of 4. That's exactly what it is. The 30, though, he's got a pretty good run here through the front stretch. And then here comes the 00. He's hitting the bumps pretty good there in 1 and 2. Now, that's something that we haven't spoken much about tonight, but in 1 and 2, right up against the bottom, but kind of in the middle of lanes of turns 1 and 2, it is very, very bumper, and these drivers can really struggle to keep the grip and momentum down there. But man, the 00 is trying. Here we are, the 29 of Jimmy Rowdy. We're gonna go 3 wide for the lead at Vegas. He's trying, he's looking, the 00 is going to shut the door, keep it 2 wide. He said, no, lap 22, I don't want to be 3 wide right now for the lead. Jimmy Rowdy, though, he's looking to make it rowdy right now as they were going ready to make it 3 wide. But here comes Matthew Ace now to take advantage of the 29 having to let up from not going 3 wide. Now the 96 looking almost to the outside there. This battle for the lead continues lap after lap, but nobody's quite been able to get past Steven Shu. Granted, this time around, James Wagner's going to lead with drafting help from the 96. Looks like he might be able to finally clear that 00. We've got an official new leader tonight, James Wagner to the top of the board. That is correct. Patience will pay off, but you know what? You gotta love when you're willing to go 3 wide. Sometimes it's all it takes for you to be able to go 3 wide. And in these trucks, you know, I'm so used to having raced next gens recently that you got to be a lot more gentle with the next gens. And so, having joined the truck league here on Tuesday nights gives me the opportunity, as a broadcaster, to remember really how you have to drive these trucks, and you have to be absolutely aggressive if you want to stay with all these drivers. And so that's where, you know, at the same time, that's what makes Las Vegas difficult. If you're trying to save tire, but it's also requiring you to be aggressive. As you're going to see right now, look at this 29. You see him get right up to the back bumper of the 96. He's got what seems to be a little bit better grip, but then off the turn, it just does not want to stay with him. As now, as you see these tires starting to really wear out, is where these drivers are going to start to spread out a little bit more. As we have now completed the 25, or the first quarter mark of this race. James Wagner, your current leader. Thank you guys for jumping in. Andrew, yes, I miss you as well. Where are you at? We're missing you in this race tonight. This would be a lot of fun to see you as well. Probably making it 4 or 5 wide with some of these drivers up front. We would have some great racing, as if they're not already having it. As right now, as you see, Matthew Ace looking to the inside of Steven Shu. So Steven was on the inside for a majority of that front run. Now he is looking to the outside, trying to hang on to that second position. So, of course, as most know, that inside really allows you to cut through the course. It's a shorter way around the track, but the outside allows you to carry more momentum. And the 96 is going to clear himself off the nose of the 00. The 00 is going to stay right with him. I don't know if he needed to, but wow, the 96 just cleared himself. And hey, sometimes that's all it takes. You are stuck behind a driver for anything more than a lap, and it feels like you've been behind them for 5 laps. So you are just wanting to get out from away from them. This has been some great action now, as you see that 00 is under attack from the 29er, Jimmy Rowdy. You see these drivers just sliding up off the turn. That's not on purpose. That's what these trucks are doing. They are sliding around. We are 20 laps into this run alone, let alone the fact that they haven't taken any tires. So they are slipping, sliding, but they are managing it the best that they can. Andrew, it does suck to hear that you don't know when you'll be back and racing again. We do hope so very soon, of course. The league always better when you are around to race in it. But, man, these drivers, they are having fun. I think if you were to ask them, some of them might say, please, please, please throw out a caution, something. I want some fresh feel goods on this truck immediately. They are just slipping and sliding, trying to make it work. Some of our closest battles on track do include this 00 and the number 29. Let's jump on board here with Jimmy Rowdy again. I know we'll be able to see the steering wheel, but we'll listen to that throttle and see what it's taking him to try to get around this driver of that 00. Wow, what a moment there for that 29. He's got it together, still kept it safe, but wow, that was a very, very close moment there for that number 29. He'll be just fine, though. He'll keep it together as he's looking on. We'll jump back out of that view as he's got the 71, the 6 here on track, but you see the top of the board, the number 71 for Daniel Love. As the 29 loses another one, now under attack from the other, from another RCR looking paint scheme, and then number 79 with Matt Worrell. There we go. We'll say it right this time around. We'll go ahead and take an opportunity as we are going to the first third of this race to go over our current leaderboard, as Matthew Ace is trying ever so slightly to track down James Wagner right now. But James Wagner, your leader right now, from North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, with about a 3.5 to 4/10 of a second lead over Matthew Ace, your pole sitter. He being from Roaring River, North Carolina. Stephen Shu started in third, currently in third. We've seen the speed that he's had, definitely a top 3 to 5 truck for the evening. Also from North Wilkesboro, so it seems like some of these drivers from North Carolina came prepared across the coast. Daniel Love in his number 71 Ford F-150. Jimmy Rowdy in that very infamous number, looking at 29 Chevy Silverado. Matt Worrell in that number 79 as well, running in 6th. Matthew Gall currently up 6 positions, your biggest mover right now of the race from New Braunfels, Texas. I hope I didn't butcher that too much. Jeff Scott here from Merrill, Wisconsin, number 38. Matt Benke in the number 35 truck. Oh, there we go. Look at that truck just all the way to the top. I love riding the top here, even if it's not always the fastest. It's just so much fun to be right up against the top, wheeling this trucks. Then the number 99 of Larry Fairman in the 10th position. Jeffrey Ledford in 11th in his Ford F-150, also from North Wilkesboro. Tim Richardson in that number 2 right now, just trying to make his way around. Chad Hawkins in the number 84 truck, running in 13th. Chris Ramsey in his Ford running in 14th. Christopher Barker not quite having the evening maybe that he was hoping for. Not sure if he's just in big tire save mode. What exactly is? He's about 8 seconds off of the lead in 15th. And then back there in the 16th position is Greg Jolly, the last driver on the lead lap. Brianna Laurent just in front of him. She is 1 lap down from Luxembourg, Wisconsin. If you're joining us tonight in chat, like I said, let us know who you're rooting on. We'll be sure to get on with them here at one point. See right there, you saw that number 30 truck bouncing up and down as he went through the turns. As Matt Benke is going to be the first driver down pit lane here now. Now remember, this is their first time they're coming in. I don't know if he made it in successfully. And here it is, everybody coming down now. One driver hits, the rest of them come. James Wagner, Matthew Ace. Oh, the 38 sideways coming down his. Jeff Scott. He's able to come back down. Unfortunately, more than likely going to be a penalty for him. Is currently Stephen Shu, Matt Worrell, Matthew Gall, Larry Fairman, and Jeffrey Ledford, the only drivers not to pit here, maybe banking on a caution to put themselves in the right position. Matthew Ace pulls into his pit box from that pole position to number 1. We'll see Stephen Shu. He's going to make his way down. Matthew Worrell. Jeffrey Ledford is going to be the only one to stay out here, so he'll get a lap led. Against Jeffrey Ledford, they're going to come out. Matthew Ace, the 71, may have made up some pretty decent time there on pit lane. Now to get up through the gears, we'll have to see what the difference between them and Stephen Shu is going to be, as well to see how much time does Matt Benke gain, because he was the last car on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken, and already now up to the 10th position and looking to gain a little bit more. Oh, we could have traded. I would have raced for you. You could have broadcasted SVT. That would have been fun. Oh, man, I'm telling you, it's definitely a fun one to be a part of. Right now, we've completed lap 39. Going to be currently on lap 40. Wow, Jimmy Rowdy, look at him thread the needle to take third. He's coming out for second. Look at, well, what will be Jeffrey Ledford is actually still out on the track right now. He actually did pit on lap 7, so he can go a little bit longer fuel-wise. Definitely maybe just banking on a caution for something, a lucky break. He would put the entire field 1 lap down in the process, so that wouldn't work out. They are currently 1 lap down, but the battle is just for a sec. We're currently... Oh, caution's out! Oh, my goodness! Jeffrey Ledford has worked out exactly as he hoped! He put in the whole field 1 lap down! Now, he does have to pit. This will allow everybody to get on the lead lap. However, he's going to have a couple of lap fresher tires than everybody. Oh my goodness. This is exactly what you can hope for Jeffrey Ledford. Alright, let's go find out what happened with the caution here. Looks like Chad Hawkins in that number 84 truck. What we'll do is we'll go to a break right after this, allow Jeffrey to hit pit lane, and then we'll get an interview with him. Oh, he's loose, he's loose, he's loose, and that dirty air behind the 2 truck. Oh, the 13's loose right behind him. Shows that it wasn't just the 84, man. It almost looks like they had an oil slick out there. The way those trucks went sliding off of 3 and 4. Again, some of these drivers on newer tires, still cold. You can see exactly why that happened. Jeffrey Ledford, I'd say the move of the race at the moment. I know it's early, but wow, he was a driver running back there 12th or 13th, or sorry, 11th or 12th, or right at the end of the top 10. And again, will be the only driver coming down pit lane, but we'll have at least a 3 to 5 lap advantage on some of these tires. Go ahead and hit our first commercial break of the evening while Jeffrey hits his pit box. We'll be right back, everybody. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. All these drivers in front of Jeffrey will all be taking the wave around. James Wagner will have actually gotten the lucky dog, which is why you see him behind him right now. Lucky for James Wagner, everybody taking the wave around, even though he's supposed to start at the tail end of the lead pack. He will still be right where he's at there. Let's go ahead and quickly try to get Ledford in for this interview if I can find him. Jeffrey, this is Angel. I know I cut you off in the middle of your conversation there. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, brother. How you doing?
Well, I said it. Caution comes out. Jeffrey looks like the smartest man on earth. 2 laps later, caution comes out. you now are going to be restarting first with at least 3 to 4 lap fresher tires than everybody else.
Well, I'll take it as being smart or really lucky. I got caught in that first wreck and had some nose damage, so I was working on repairing that. That's the reason I was able to pit a little bit later than everybody earlier to get the more fuel. And I stayed out. I said I'm gonna stay out until she sputters, and then I'm gonna hit pit road. And luckily enough, with like 1 point something left, the caution came out.
Man, it doesn't always work out that well. Everybody, of course, going to be taking the wave around, allowing you to assume back to the front. So my question for you, you're going to have a little bit fresher tires than everybody else. You definitely want to use that to your advantage, but at the same time, knowing that drafting is a thing, you don't want to use them up either. So you got to try to find a way to make, to really balance that act. Do you have a plan for that yet, or is it just going to be see how the truck feels and we'll go from there?
I was afraid with my pit strategy, I was done for anyway, so I'm just happy to be back out front. I'm going to honestly just see how the restart stays and just hit the restart and run with it and just kind of see where I fall and try to fall in behind somebody just to try to save as much gas again.
Yeah, that would be a very good idea as well. When on the long run here, how much are these trucks sliding around, or is it just that they're really tight? What's happening to these trucks here on these long runs that we're getting where you're really using up the tires?
I'd say about 15 in, you start to get really tight. The front end wants to push. You just got to really conserve the tire for the length of the fuel.
That's a great way to put it here. All these drivers, I think you might even have a single file restart here.
We may do it with the wave around for everybody. Yeah, I think we got a couple that may have fell right. It was kind of crazy how it all worked out. So we'll just have to see. I don't even know.
Yeah, it doesn't always happen that way. Well, congratulations on what was a great strategy call, Jeffrey. Hopefully it is. We still have just over half the race to go, but you know what? I'm going to call that the strategy call of the race. Good luck here, and hopefully we get to talk to you at the end of this one as well.
Appreciate it. Talk to you guys soon.
I want to make sure I put you back in the right spot. Were you with Foothills or SVT?
Foothills.
Foothills, all righty. As he said, I'll consider it smart, but no, understanding that it is luck, and hey, you're at Las Vegas, you got to gamble, and so here's the main thing that Jeffrey did. He took what was a bad situation and tried to make it work in his favor, knowing that, you know what, if it doesn't work, oh well, he's in about the same position as he was anyways. But at this point, he took the opportunity to try to do something different so that should it work out, it'd work out really, really well. And that's, I'd have to say, exactly what happened for him, where the caution coming out where everybody had pit except for him, giving him that advantage over everybody. Now, as mentioned, he'll have a couple of lap fresher tires over everybody. We'll have to see how much of a difference that could make. Now, as I said, just in the practice session these drivers had, it looks like we have the pace lights back on here for the pace car. So we're going to extend this by at least one more lap. Probably allow for all these drivers to get lined back up, since looks like 75% of the field was on a wave around situation. So what I'm wondering here is, looks like Ramsey might get it, is you're going to have possibly 50, right now it's 55, 54 coming to, so maybe 53 laps to go here, which means you could, if going green, we can split this up perfectly right in the middle, give yourself 25, 27 laps or so, and that's about what we saw these drivers doing under this. So gonna be real close. Hopefully see if they can make it on one more stop, as it looks like the pace lights are off here on the iRacing pace truck. Kick-ass Duke, yes, it has been a very entertaining affair. Just wait to see what these drivers can do as they are ready to full send into this corner. I'm a little interested to see, considering we've got a single file except for James Wagoner. I don't know if that puts him at an advantage or maybe a disadvantage. I see the 71 moving up. I don't know if these drivers are maybe voluntarily lining up side by side. I personally keep the chats off during the race. I just can't multitask with the voices going on in the background, as fun as that is. Respect definitely to the driver, or to the broadcasters that do. I know quite a few that love to listen in, and it allows them to get that little bit extra feedback on what's going on in the race. Unfortunately, I'm just here for regular talking purposes. Looks like we are going to be pretty much lined up all throughout here. So the Iracing.com pace truck coming down. We'll jump over to Barney the flag man. He's getting ready to throw the green flag here, completing lap 47. Green flag racing again for Jeffrey Ledford. We'll watch these drivers send it here into turn number 1. Everybody doing a pretty good job of keeping it calm. Now again, most of the drivers actually did have some type of green flag lap, so they had some type of heat in their tires at least as they got into this one. As we're going through 3 and 4 now, we're going to go to drone cam here. As you see, Jeffrey Ledford still the leader right now, that number 96. So really where the way this works out for the 0-1 is he's also, actually, because everybody had to take the waiver on, I don't know if everybody else is able to make it a one more stop. He might be the only one to make it a one more stop, or unless, of course, for any other drivers who made their way down. Looks like Chris Ramsey was able to, but here the drivers come flying through. It is side by side right there. Matthew Ace going to take the lead, and James Wagoner going to go with them. This can really work out for Ledford, as he said. Maybe get behind a couple of trucks, save some fuel. He has no reason to fight these drivers. He just has to stay with them and try to save as much fuel as he possibly can to try to make it on one more stop. Of course, caution throws a wrench in that entirely, but man, what a strategy this could be for Jeffrey Ledford. And as green flag racing as we had, very, very possible to have that work out for him. Because even if these guys have another caution again, like it happened where it was after they pit, he's going to be out there for longer. Now, what you're going to see, and hopefully, is if hopefully he doesn't lose too much time staying out on the older tires compared to some of these drivers as well. So, you know, they're going to be, he'll lose some time. A lot of stuff can happen. You really got to stay focused on what's happening in front of you. Looks like Matt Worrell, he's also a lap down along with Brianna and Jeff Scott. It looks like Matthew Ace, Chad Hawkins, yes, he is still out here with his truck all fixed up and ready to go. We're side by side almost for the lead. James Wagner was peeking to try to take it back away from Matthew Ace. Here comes Jimmy Rowdy to the inside. 30's going to give him the room, but 30's going to have the momentum off of 4 to stay in front of that 29. But it's a battle behind him for 4th between Daniel Love and Jeffrey Ledford. Oh, man, the 0-1. Ledford's got to run there under the 71. You got to take whatever run you can get at the moment. However, Daniel Love, Matthew Gall, they just put down their fastest laps of the evening on that last lap. We'll see here. So these drivers pushing it hard. You'd say that some of these tires should be wearing out early, but man, here even 10 laps plus in, they are trying, they are pushing it hard. And you also, you gain more confidence with it. The track goes getting more grip, of course, as you put more tire down. And well, you go figuring it out. These lap times are going to continue to improve. Steven Shu, Matthew Gall, and Brianna Lauren, they all had their fastest laps of the day that last time around here. So, getting ready to complete lap 54. This will give us 56 laps to go in this race. 46 laps to go in this race. If I can do math correctly, we are past the halfway point of the race as Matthew Ace still. Oh, there goes Rowdy. Wow, what a save. Oh my goodness. How did you save that? See him get. That'll be on the next one here. Try to fast forward very quickly. He's on the inside. He's trying to throttle it up, throttle up. He's got the 01 truck above him. Oh, there's a little bit of contact, some net code, honestly, but wow. Rowdy with the save. He's going to drop him all the way to the 6 now, trying to hold on to that 6th position as he battles with Steven Shu. Matthew Ace has got Jeffrey Ledford to his outside now, completing lap 56, now 57. We'll go through the field here again in about 10 laps, give or take. Always want to give an opportunity to be able to see all of our drivers. Oh boy, but what great racing we're having right now between these front 4 or 5 trucks. We just cannot get our eyes off of them. Yes, I agree. That might be the perfect emoji response of how I felt. I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure that truck might be killed with how we were reading this, the right side of the truck. You're not supposed to, I should not be able to see the lettering on the right side of your truck. If I can see it, there is an issue right there. But kept it together, did not let netcode affect him too bad as he's trying to make his way back up there, able to stay with his front pack at least for Rowdy. Maybe put a little bit of wear on that right rear, but you know what? I think he'd be just fine. I think this actually would be a great opportunity. These guys are going 3, almost 4 wide back here. To have our first Turn It Up session of the evening. So as always, if you're listening on earphones, it will get loud, so just get ready. We're going to have some fantastic action here in just a moment. Always one of my favorite opportunities when we get to go on board with these drivers and see what they are doing. We're just there on board with Matt Benke, who, you know, I have to say, running up into the 6th position, up 6 spots, tied with Ledford and Tim Richardson for the biggest movers. You know, he had made a daring move early, pit earlier on, and was able to gain a ton of spots. And before those drivers were able to make their way back around him with the fresher tires, that's when the caution came out. So it really worked out for Matt Benke. So I'd have to say, shout out to him. It wasn't just Jeffrey Ledford using some good strategy. It really worked out for him to have pit early when he did. But man, look at the 01. He's all over the back bumper of the 96. Yeah, he's just shoving him into the turns right now. But the 01, and I don't think, he's in the position to be looking to pass anybody. I think he's just Now, you want to save fuel. Taking the outside isn't going to help. You're taking the long way around the track. I'd be on the low side. But, yeah, he was all behind him. Maybe just wanted to give some room and maybe not accidentally wreck him. Whatever it was, they got a little close there. But Ledford trying to make it. He's just got to make it to about, I'm going to say, probably lap 70. You should, although most of these drivers might be able to make it there as well. We did have a lot of caution laps that last time as well to get a general idea as to what the fuel strategy looks like. But James Wagner, you see him right behind. He's trying to stay on pace before they do this green flag pit stops, quite possibly, as we might see. Getting to the second third of this race. We're going to go back over all of our drivers. So if you are watching, make sure you're paying attention. We'll get through all of our drivers here. Matthew Ace right now in a good battle with Jeffrey Ledford for that first position. Ledford again mentioning on that different strategy really worked out for him, currently in second, all over the back bumper of your leader. James Wagner staying right behind them, running in third, led some laps early on. Looked like he's been one of the faster trucks as well. Daniel Love, the number 71 on our live timing and scoring, number 6 for your eyes. Down there, he's running top 5, top 10 this entire race. Jimmy Rowdy, nice recovery so far in 5th after what almost happened to him from Midwest City, Oklahoma. He's having a good, another solid race here tonight. Larry Fairman, he's having himself a good race as well, running up here in 6th. Looks like he just made the pass on Steven Shu in that 0-0. Matthew Gall in 8th. Matt Benke now down to the 9th position. Now you see these tires again having pit a few laps earlier than everybody else. Well, this has hurt him. But again, great strategy call, really. Christopher Barker in 10th. Tim Richardson in 11th. Chris Ramsey's in 12th. Greg Jolly in 13th. Matt Worrell in 14th. Currently not on the lead lap. I don't believe maybe the Greg, that number 3 truck, was either. 38 of Jeff Scott, he's not on the lead lap either. And then Brianna Lauren there in that number 6 truck, the correct number 6 truck. She is also currently off of the lead lap due to an earlier incident. As Matthew Ace comes off of turn number 2, you see that the 0-1, of Jeffrey Ledford once again to his outside. Really, oh man, he's getting right to that right rear quarter panel, trying to stay right on his. So the question is going to be here for Jeffrey. If it looks like everybody should be able to make it on one more stop here, and it should be coming in the next 5 to 10. Is here comes Matt Benke. We talked about pitting early. Wow, the 01 and the 96 almost made contact. 96 slid up the track a little bit. 01 was just trying to side draft. That happened. You see Jeffrey immediately pulled off like, no. I'm not trying to wreck. I was just trying to have some side drafting fun here. We got 30 to go still, but because of we have at least one more pit stop to go, none of these drivers are going to be pushing it too hard, especially on these tires they're in. Matt Worrell going to make his way down pit lane as well. The 0-1 back to that right rear. Greg Jolly coming in as well for his pit stop. And the 0-1 going to go right around Matthew Ace to the outside. Just drove right around. Not sure if Matthew just said go on by. If 01 had a big run, so whatever happened, 01 was able to clear pretty quickly. Matthew Ace might be coming down pit lane this time around. So my question is going to be here for Jeffrey is, how long are you going to stay out? I know you've got fresher tires, but now these guys are going to gain a ton on you, and the question is going to be, can you make up that time back? So James Wagner, Jimmy Rowdy, they're coming down pit lane now. Jeffrey Ledford, Daniel Love, Larry Fairman, Matthew Gall, Steven Shu, Christopher Barker, Chris Ramsey, they're all going to stay out. So 7 trucks stay out. The rest of the field has come down pit lane. We'll jump back to the front of the field here, see how this is going to affect maybe some of your drivers. For Ledford, he can stay out, but the question is going to be, how long do you stay out? Because, of course, he'll have the opportunity towards the end of the run to gain all that back as those tires wear out. He'll be the only one on that, so it'll be a little bit easier as well, trying to drive around some of these drivers. So at least at the moment, while these drivers are still on pit lane, no takers just yet. Ledford's gonna stay out. maybe Daniel Love, Larry Fairman, Matthew Gall, Stephen Shue, Chris Ramsey, they all said, well, that worked out for him pretty well the last time around, so let's go ahead and try to get it done maybe for us. Now, currently on lap 75, 74% of this race completed. We are now in the final stretch. Not quite the final leg, I'll say. We'll wait for the last of these 6 drivers to come down pit lane. In the process, though, James Wagner looks like he ended up with the lead. I don't know if Matthew Ace had a penalty on pit lane. He was on pit lane in his pit box for 54 seconds, so your leader right before this all started, don't know, and your pole sitter, did he have a speeding penalty coming down pit lane, and did that cost him? With 25 to go, let's see if we can see. I'm going to try to see if I can find where he entered pit lane. Oh, we don't have the speed of these guys here, but yeah, not under caution, it won't show. Let's see for the 96. I mean, it looked like he was pretty solid through there, so I don't know what may or may not have happened for him. But that's definitely going to cost him big time. That puts James Wagner, who will cycle back out as your leader. The question here for Jeffrey Ledford is, when is he going to come in? Again, he is losing at the moment. Let's see. Wagner that last time around, almost a second a lap, 9/10 that last time around. So he's got about 45 seconds, of course, in front of Wagner over. I mean, he definitely won't be able to save enough fuel to make it to the end. Of course not. Now definitely has to pit. We have about 22 laps to go. And a zip code of his own, of course, as previously mentioned, was able to pit about 4 to 5 laps after these guys. And let's see what he can do. Thanks for jumping in, chat there, rooting on the number 2 truck of Tim Richardson. He may have gained some time there as well with that issue with Matthew Ace, who really did lose a ton of time. And here it is, Jeffrey Ledford coming down pit lane now with 22 laps to go. So a good 7 laps behind James Wagner, 4 laps behind Daniel Love. And we'll have to see, as James Wagner just got his lap back, where does he cycle back out, as these drivers were right on top of each other. James was within half a second of him, if I'm not mistaken, when they began coming down pit lane. See, now Wagner coming down here into turns 3 and 4, so coming off of 4 now. Now, Ledford is just coming off of his pit stalls, and luckily he's at the front, so he'll be able to get up to speed, but Wagner's got all the momentum, and he will make that pass. So here comes Wagner. He's going to take the lead back now with Daniel Love hot on his tail. Now, Daniel, he pit a few laps after, so he might have something a little bit for these guys. Question is now for Ledford, as all the rest of these drivers behind lost a decent amount of time, it feels like, on pit lane, is when he gets up to speed, how far back. Right now, he's 3.5 seconds behind the leader, but it looks like he's still getting up to speed, so we'll give it a moment before we give an official declaration. 20 laps to go. What's going to work out for Wagner? Now, 3.62 seconds behind the leader. He's got a lot to gain here over the end, as he almost tags the wall there off of turn 2. You see, he's already going to be pushing it. But the big battle right now is for the lead. Daniel Love and that number 71 battling hard with James Wagner. I think the best thing for these two is to just not race it out. Keep it clean, where you maybe are even helping each other. Keep yourselves away so that Jeffrey Ledford can't catch you. That last time around, well, again, Ledford's going to give it a moment to just get up to official speed. We'll see where his lap times then match up with everybody else, with your front 2 drivers. But while they do that, right now we got a pretty good battle between Stephen Shue and Matthew Gall here for the 6th position. The last time around, Ledford was about 7/100ths of a second. I don't think that's going to be enough to make it work, as Larry Fairman and Matt Benke battling hard now for that 4th and 5th positions. Is they're right behind the number 79 truck of Matt Worrell, who is not on the lead lap. Oh, there goes 79, loose. What a save! Little bit slight contact with with Matt Benke. Do they still keep it together? Unbelievable driving by everybody. Great awareness by everyone around as well to keep from making that into a wreck. Steven Shue said, I'll take it 3 wide. Okay, I don't need to, but I was willing to do it if I needed. The last time around, Ledford actually a 10.5 slower. I'm wondering maybe because of these front 2 drivers having drafting help with each other, but that's working out in their favor to continue to try to pull away from Ledford. We'll see around maybe this time around what it looks like. Yeah, Ledford was half a tenth slower this time, so this might really work out for James Wagner and Daniel Love, and really hurt Ledford, who just doesn't have anybody around him to draft with, especially with 16 laps to go. And here comes Daniel Love to the inside. Looking to make that pass on James Wagner. Can he complete it? Does James fight a little bit harder to keep it? Does he let him go and say, we got 15 to go? I don't quite need to hold on just yet. That's exactly what's going to happen, as Daniel Love is going to clear him through 1 and 2. I don't know. James has got a pretty good run. Daniel's going to leave the door open for him. Going to leave some respectful driving between these two, but hard battling. It's exactly what Ledford wants to see from behind to try to gain that time. This time, Daniel Love does clear James for the lead. Now with 15, it'll be 14 to go here off of turn number 4 for Las Vegas. Well, question, does James Wagner have anything left, and does Jeffrey Ledford have anything for these guys? That last time, because they were battling hard, he was half a second quicker, so he made up a ton of time. He'll have just around 3 seconds, so he's got to gain just over half a tenth a lap, so we're looking maybe 6 to 7 tenths a lap. We'll have to see if that's going to be possible coming across the line here. See what the lap time looks like. Oh, that last time was only 1/10, so not currently in position quick enough, again, without these two battling hard, but you never know. He gained half a tenth in just 1 lap when they started to battle hard. James Wagner, as I said, if you want to battle for the lead, you got to wait till maybe the last 3 to 4 laps. Do not give the driver with 7 or 5 to 7 lap fresher tires in you the opportunity to catch up. Another good battle we have on track still. Steven Shue and Matthew Gall, they can't quite seem to figure out who's going to get to 5th and 6th position, so we'll have an opportunity to jump back with them as the leaders continue to stay close to each other. That last time around, Ledford was about 1/10 to 2/10 quicker. Still not quite enough right now, and you see that across the top of your board, top 10 currently on the lead lap. 11 laps to go for Daniel Love in that number 71 truck. He's been pretty quiet all day long as well, just maintaining himself, as we mentioned, somewhere in that lower top 5 to the higher top 10, or somewhere between, I'd say 4th to 7th is about what we've seen him all day. Haven't really seen him up front leading laps, but haven't really seen him dropped much from there. But hey, right now he's trying to make it happen. Back here, Matthew Ace trying to make up some of the spots that he lost in that penalty, as he's looking to the inside of Greg Jolly. That'll put Matthew Ace to 11th. However, 21 seconds behind Tim Richardson, a buddy of his. Not going to be fast enough to be able to catch him and try to get to a top 10, unfortunately. But with 10 to go, and again, a caution could just change everything for everybody. We'll see everybody come down and probably take their last set of tires. They were only gifted, again, 3 additional from their starting sets. I gave them 4 total. Looks like most everybody's used at least 2 sets up to this point. That last time around, 3 to 10ths to half a second quicker. But man, 2 seconds back right now. He's got to be able to gain more. And it looks like James Wagner maybe used up some of his stuff, because He's lost now 6/10 himself, so that's exactly what Ledford did not want. He wanted these guys to try to battle it out, duke it out for a little bit longer to see if it would work out in his favor. Right now, not quite the situation. We'll jump back with 8 laps to go now. Steven Shu and Matthew Gall staying close together. Of course, our eyes are on Jeffrey Ledford to see can he gain enough. Now again, as we come down towards the end of the run, he'll have, I think, that much more of an advantage if he hasn't pushed it too hard. 8 laps to go here. That last time he was 4.5 to 5/10, so he's getting there, but it's not quite enough. Let's see this time around. That last time around was 3.5 tenths with 7 to go. Yeah, he's got it down to where if he can do it at half a second, and now a little bit of drafting from the 30 might allow him to, well, to see how quickly, but the 6 was behind as well, or sorry, the 71 was behind a lap truck. The 01 gets past James Wagner pretty easily. James says, "You've got 7 lap fresher tires. I know I've got nothing for you here." You know, I may have had some slight doubt for Ledford at the middle of this run. I thought it was a good move to start. That last time around, he was half a tenth quicker. Here it is with 6 laps to go. He is on a very good pace. Daniel Love now trying to make sure there is no way there is any type of draft for Jeffrey Ledford. You see the 71 moving to the high side, trying to get Search, see what he's got, carry some extra momentum. 5 laps to go, 6/10 of a second. The difference, he's got to gain just under a tenth a lap, or just over a tenth a lap to try to get there. Ladies and gentlemen, in typical Las Vegas Motor Speedway fashion, it's going to take some gambling, some pit strategy to make it work. And it's exactly what we have. 3 different strategies up front, 3 different pit stops to happen amongst your top 3. Honestly, top 4 drivers had 4 different pit stop laps, and you're going to see it work out very, very different. Ledford is now to the back bumper of that number 6 on track number 71 at the top of the board. The question now, of course, you can catch him. Question is, can you pass him? 4 to go here for the James Wagner's Welding 150, and Ledford is there. The 6 doesn't know where he's going to want to block. Here comes the 01. Oh, they make slight contact. Woo! That was definitely some net code. Oh, 4 to go. Caution is out. Oh, my goodness. And here it is. It definitely has changed. Now, the question is, when the caution came out, who was the leader? I do believe, yes, that is the 71. He is going to be registered as a leader. This will be a green-white checkered attempt, and we'll go ahead and double check. If I'm not mistaken, there is only 2 attempts for a green-white checkered here. And we've had some great action right there, fixing to have a fantastic finish. We got the battle we wanted right there, and then the caution came out. Let's go ahead and see exactly what may have brought out that caution. Maybe that number, the 79 truck of Matt Worrell. That front end is destroyed. He was side by side with the 3 of Greg Jolly. Contact there down the front stretch as they go down here in the 3. Oh man, netcode just destroys that. Oh, the 79 was up. Oh, the 35 gets involved. Matt Benke. Yeah, the 3 got on him and he was close, but that you can definitely tell there was still at least half a foot between those 2 drivers. That should not have been an issue. Unfortunate, but just again one of those things that happens when you're on the subscription and online based network where, you know, not everything's going to be perfect. Well, with 3 to go, again, we're not going to talk to any one of our drivers, so we're going to go ahead and take advantage to pay the bills here on the Sim Racing Media Network. We'll take this one last opportunity for a commercial break. We'll be right back before we have our first green-white checkered of the evening. All right, we are back live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Roughneck Racing Series here on the Sim Racing Media Network. I am Angel Santiago. Unfortunately, my broadcast partner unable to make it tonight with a last-minute emergency. No problem whatsoever. I feel bad for him because we've had some great action here tonight. For those of you watching, without a doubt, as always, thank you very, very much. If you have not already, make sure you have liked, shared, subscribed, whatever you got to do to get those bell notifications running, and to really just watch all the exciting action that we have going on the Sim Racing Media Network. A couple of our leagues right now in a bit of a middle of an off season, my league included, but we'll have a lot of them back up and running here in the near future. Luckily, we have the Roughneck Racing Series here on Wednesday nights that every week. We had Talladega to start, Watkins Glen after that, followed by Eldora, and again, Watkins Glen and Eldora. That was the very first time for a road course and for a dirt track in this series, so that was an exciting, fun one. As you see, the Iracing.com pace truck lights are off. After Las Vegas, we get to go to Bristol, so the first 5 races of the season, all 5 different types of tracks. That's a great way for these drivers to learn what they need to build that momentum and continue to learn and do a better job at what they do, and of course to have more fun. We'll be excited to be broadcasting that race from Bristol next week, so be sure. I know you all love Bristol, the last great Coliseum. Make sure that you are ready with us next week, 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time, to get that one. We'll probably have maybe about 150, maybe 200 laps. We'll have to see. Although it's Bristol, so just because it's tempting to have more laps. Of course, the cautions that ensue, you never know if you want to be there for too long with all the laps. But that's the fun part about Bristol. So much fun. You can do inside and outside. A lot of these drivers are going to be having a ton of fun as they try to make it through. But we have a concern of finishing tonight's race first. Not anybody really gonna pit except for the back of the field. Nothing you can do too much. Matt Benke is in the 9th position, the first truck of those who took tires. With 2 to go, maybe not enough time for these tires to get warmed up. You're gonna be slipping and sliding. We're getting ready to go green flag racing. It'll be green flag racing. 2 to go for the green white checkered here for the James Wagner's Welding 150. These drivers for their full set here into turn 1 and 2. Daniel Love with a great restart there. He is to the front. Now he's got himself about a 0.3 of a second lead. Now 2.5 over Jeffrey Ledford. Do they make it through? And can Ledford get to him? Here comes James Wagner now as well. Our focus is going to be, can Ledford build enough momentum? He's going to peek to the outside. He peeks to the inside. White flag here. Does he get there? No, he's going to get there. Daniel Love is not able to throw the block. The 01 gets to the inside. He's going to take the lead. He's not quite clear, though. As they come off of turn 2, the 671. He's got a great momentum. I'm sorry, they almost wrecked behind him. That would have been the race. Going into turn 3, they're side by side again. Can the 01 clear him? I think he will. Jeffrey Ledford clears. The 6 dives to the bottom. It's not going to be enough. Jeffrey Ledford with a last lap pass for the win here at Vegas. Wow, what a finish. Man, Daniel Love tried everything he could, but those fresher tires, there is just nothing you can do about that. That was a great restart on his side. Man, 1 lap less, he would have had it. Half a lap less, maybe he could have had it. What a great finish there for the 01 of Jeffrey Ledford. For it to still work out on many different reasons why it couldn't have. Give him an opportunity. He's going to want to go ahead and start to burn it down for all of these guys here. So excited for him. I know he's definitely excited himself to get this victory. All right. Jeffrey, this is Angel here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got me, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, man? It worked out.
It worked out. Look at that. And there was reasons why it couldn't have, and it still worked out there at the very end for the last lap pass. Jeffrey, talk us through the emotions going through really when that wreck almost happened. It was netcode for you guys. Then the caution comes out. He gets a great restart. Suddenly, it almost looks like you don't have this.
Dude, I wish you could see me right now. I'm shaking. I didn't know. So after that last pit stop, I knew I had the tires, but when I came back out on track, I was almost 3.5 seconds back from Doug and Daniel. And I said, I've got to have a caution. I've got to have a caution. Well, then their tires started to go away, and I was gaining like 0.3 a lap. I'm like, maybe actually if it stays green, it's going to be better. I can actually close and pass them. And then I got around Doug, and I think it was Daniel. I was racing, just staying in his bumper, and was just trying to stay behind him and conserve. And then caution come out. I was like, no, I didn't really want that. I was like, that's going to jumble us up, and it's going to get hairy. I wanted him to get a good restart, but I needed to be right behind him because I needed that draft. And everything just played out just right. I dropped in behind him and just drafted him, and we actually had a fun race that last lap.
It was a ton of fun just to watch him, to be able to call. I mean, unbelievable how close it was. Just great, clean racing that you guys had there. I think that's something that this league, you can tell the respect amongst the drivers is very clear. As the racing we get is just fantastic when everybody is really just being that respectful.
Oh yeah, I think I showed my card a little early because that white flag, I went to the apron to make the pass because I knew he was going to protect, but I didn't know if he'd go below the line. He didn't, so I said that's my only opportunity is to go under and push my way back up on track, and I did. And I said, well, coming back to the flag, he's going to hit the apron and try that same move back on me. And sure enough, he did. So I just went all the way to the grass. I said, you're not getting anything down here.
I saw it. I called it. I said, oh, he's got the run. Nope. Jeff's got him. He's got him with the block. It was a great timed one. Jeffrey, I'm sure you have some people here that you'd like to thank, some sponsors, friends, family. Definitely a fun one to watch there at the end.
Yeah, I want to thank my friends Stephen Shue and Chris Barker with me at Foothills Motorsports. We communicate really good together. We all work together. We'll fall back and help each other out. We'll help each other out throughout the week and stuff. So it's been a great team. I want to thank James Wagoner's Welding first and foremost. They give the money to get you guys in here to broadcast these, and these are memories. These are things that we can go back later and rewatch and bring back those feelings that I'm feeling now. I can watch that again, like, man, I remember that last lap, man. That was just on edge, and it's something we can cherish, for years to come. So it's fun. It's just a great time.
Yes, and I think that's something that a lot of us tend to forget, that these league sponsors aren't just here for a name on a broadcast. It's because of them that, yes, we are able to be here, and we get to put up these videos. They're on YouTube forever now, so you get to go back whenever you want and rewatch your victory, and this time from the stands instead of from the driver's seat.
I want to say last week I at the dirt track, man, I beat this truck up. It got beat. I took it over to James, and that dude welded this thing up, got her straight as a rail, and you see what I done. Right here and put it on the flag.
Hey, we saw everything that went on last week at Eldora, so you get that welded back out in a great condition to pull off a victory. I'd say they're doing their job pretty darn well.
Hey, they're on it, man. They're on it.
Well, congratulations, Jeff, once again. Let's see if we can make this back-to-back next week at Bristol. You might need a little bit more welding after that one as well.
I'm going to need some help next week, man. I'm going to need you in the passenger seat or something. Tell me what's going on.
Hey, it's going to be some good racing, and save the tires there as well. It's going to be some fun racing at Bristol.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, man. I appreciate it.
That was your winner tonight, Jeffrey Ledford, doing the gambling that it takes to win here at Las Vegas. Daniel Love in that number 71 truck, not here in the Discord to be able to chat with him. So if you're in next week, we will make sure to get an interview in with you. We'll move over then to James Wagner. Of course, that's when he mentioned for Doug. So, Doug, this is Angel here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got me, buddy?
I got a copy.
Man, you sounded a little dejected, but that was some fantastic racing there in the top three. You gotta be happy with what was that top three finish.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with the third place. I'm just glad I had a good race.
Well, I'd say it was pretty darn good race. I think, I mean, honestly, you probably showed the most speed, you know, really leading a ton of laps when everybody was on that same strategy. Where do you think, I mean, aside from strategy-wise, do you think is that what will maybe put you just a little bit behind there on the winner?
Yeah, I started saving on fuel because I started running a little lows. Like when I crossed the line, I had like 0.3 left in fuel. So I was a little nervous about it. So I just backed off a little bit and just let them two race at it.
Yeah, sometimes that's all that you can do, but it's still a top 3 finish tonight will definitely, of course, help the point situation. I'm sure as we're always looking to improve there. I know you came in here in that A spot tied with Matthew Gall, so that should allow you really to gain quite a few. You know, Tyler Alberts couldn't make it. Clyde Barker wasn't here, so you should be able to move up at least. Maybe, I mean, I know Jeffrey ended up winning it, but definitely a good points day for you, I'd say.
Oh yeah, should be.
Well, always great to have that. I know, of course, sponsor being For Your Father's Business, so we'll give you that opportunity, of course, to give the biggest shout out of all, and then any other shout outs for friends and family watching.
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate Jeff winning the race. Like to thank my father, of course, James Wagner's Welding, all the Roughneck guys, R&R Pools, Steve's Head Shed, and especially you guys too for the broadcast and everything. But other than that, that's about it.
Hey man, well, we mentioned before, and like Jeffrey said, big shout out to James Wagner's Welding for making it possible for us to be here to broadcast these races. So congratulations on your top 3 finish here, Doug, and we'll let you go celebrate. See you next week at Bristol. Going to be a lot of fun there as well. We told him James Wagner's Welding is going to have to be out there. They're going to have quite a few trucks to weld after that one.
Oh yeah, we're going to need some push bars.
All righty, have a good evening, buddy.
Yep, you too. Thanks.
Man, that was always a blast to be able to speak with Doug there. We'll go over now our final results for tonight's race. We finished mentioning Jeffrey Ledford coming home with the victory, gambling here in the our gambling state of Nevada. Daniel Love in second, James Wagner in third, Stephen Shu in in fourth, Larry Fairman coming home with a top 5. He has really shown his some good speed here over the last couple of weeks. Matt Benke going to come home in 6th. Matthew Gall in 7th. 8th for Chris Ramsey. Tim Richardson come home 9th. Chris Barker in 10th. Matthew Ace in 11th. Jeff Scott in 12th. 13th belonged to Greg Jolly. Jimmy Rowdy, not exactly sure what happened with him to really maybe just involved in one of the incidents. Again, one of the top 5 trucks, I believe, speed-wise we had tonight. Brianna Lauren in 15th, Matt Worrell in 16th, and Chad Hawkins going to round out your field there in the 17th position. Want to thank everybody once again for joining us here on the Sim Racing Media Network tonight for the James Wagner's Welding 150. From Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we'll be back out to the East Coast next week visiting Bristol, Tennessee, the last great Coliseum. Very excited to see the 15 to 20 trucks that we get to see every week in and week out here for the Roughneck Racing Series. It's going to be some exciting action. Make sure, as mentioned before, like, share, subscribe. We'll see everybody back here, 7:20 next week. Have a great evening, everybody.